Have you ever thought this? I'm not like other people. Maybe you never said it out loud, but it crossed your mind. Sometimes while standing in a crowd, sometimes during an argument, sometimes while watching how people behave. And your mind said something like this: they're not aware, but I am. That thought brings a strange sense of relief, but it also raises an uncomfortable question. What if that thought doesn't actually mean what you think it means? This video is about why people feel different, more conscious, or more special than others. Where does this feeling come from? Are some people truly more different than others? Or is the human mind simply inclined to place its own story at the center of the world? Psychologist Carl Jung gave a disturbing answer to this question many years ago. According to Jung, the human mind likes to believe that it is unique, but most of the time, people are far more similar than they think. This feeling often begins in childhood. You sit in a classroom, you look at the other children around you. They are laughing, talking, easily interacting with each other. But you remain quiet, maybe because you are shy, maybe because your thoughts feel different. The child's mind interprets this difference in a simple way. I'm not like them. Sometimes this thought comes from loneliness, sometimes from the feeling of not being understood. Over time, a small difference can turn into an identity. Many people remember thinking, no one really understands me, because everyone lives inside their own mind. Your thoughts feel complex to you. Other people's behavior seems simple, and this difference can lead to a misleading conclusion. It can make a person feel as if they have escaped the system and gained awareness. Everyone else appears ordinary. No one can think as deeply as you. No one is aware of what is happening around them, and they simply live a normal life. Many people carry this thought during their teenage years. I'm not like the others. Sometimes it feels empowering. Sometimes it comes with loneliness. But in both cases, it creates the same thing: identity. The human mind does not like uncertainty. The question, who am I, is uncomfortable. So the mind produces answers, and sometimes that answer becomes, I'm different from everyone else. Over time, this thought becomes comforting, because being different can explain why you feel misunderstood. If you struggle to fit into a group, maybe the problem isn't that you don't fit. Maybe you are simply deeper, more conscious, more different. People like to feel special, because it can explain the difficulties of life. If someone feels lonely, two explanations appear. The first, maybe I struggle to connect with people. The second, maybe people just aren't as deep as I am. The second explanation is far more attractive, because it turns weakness into identity. That's why some people hold on to the idea that society doesn't understand me. Sometimes that thought might be true, but sometimes it can also be a defense mechanism. Instead of recognizing the problem, we choose to mask it. And the mask we wear can make us feel cool and different, but in reality, it isn't. Do you have a mask? Think about it. In many stories, the main character is misunderstood. They stand alone. No one understands them. But eventually, they are proven right. These stories resonate because everyone feels misunderstood sometimes, and that feeling can make a person believe they are special. But Carl Jung noticed something important. People place their own story at the center of the world. This is natural. Everyone experiences life from inside their own mind. Your thoughts feel important. Your emotions feel intense. But that doesn't mean they are actually the center of the world. According to Jung, the ego tends to exaggerate its own importance. It quietly says, my story is special. My experiences are different. My thoughts are deeper. During high school, I sometimes felt special because the music I listened to was different from everyone else's. It felt like I had more vision than them. The ego builds a small center, and at the center of that world, it places itself. One of Jung's most uncomfortable ideas is this: people are not as unique as they think. Across cultures and generations, human emotions repeat. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of not being understood. The same patterns appear again and again. People tell similar stories, react in similar ways, share similar desires. Jung called this the collective unconscious, the idea that the human mind shares deep psychological patterns. This leads to a disturbing possibility. Maybe people are far more similar than they believe. I'm different. Sometimes this thought feels liberating, but sometimes it becomes a trap, because it can also be another form of ego, not superiority, but difference. Someone might think, I'm better than others. Another might think, I'm simply different. Both place the ego at the center. One behavior I've observed in people who believe they are different is how they treat those they consider ordinary. They often look down on them. They avoid socializing with them because they believe they are not in the same league. When someone feels misunderstood, two explanations appear. The first, maybe I'm not expressing myself clearly. The second, maybe people just aren't on my level. The second explanation feels much more comfortable, because the problem is no longer internal, it becomes external. That is why the thought, I'm different, can sometimes be a defense, not a discovery. Jung believed that understanding oneself is extremely difficult, because the mind is not always honest with itself. People often tell the version of the story their ego can accept, and because of that, a person can misunderstand their own mind. Today, this dynamic has become even stronger, because modern life gives everyone a stage. You open an app, you post a photo, you share an opinion, and slowly, you construct an identity. People are not only living anymore, they are also presenting themselves. You select what to show, your best moments, your most interesting thoughts. But ordinary moments are rarely shared. Confusion is rarely shared. Contradictions are rarely shared. So everyone becomes the main character of their own story. Today, this is often called main character syndrome. These people love being the center of attention, and when the spotlight moves away from them, they become uncomfortable. They may display narcissistic traits. Do you have people like this around you? What behavior do you observe the most from them? And after a while, people don't just live, they try to appear different. But here's the strange question. If everyone is trying to be different, who is actually different? Maybe today the feeling of being special is more common than ever, but also more superficial than ever, because difference sometimes becomes performance. The most disturbing part of Jung's idea is simple. People are far more similar than they think. They share the same fears, the same desires, the same emotional struggles. Yet because everyone experiences these emotions privately, they believe they are unique. But sometimes the truth may be simpler. The thoughts you believe are unique, have been thought by millions. The emotions you believe are personal, have been felt by millions. That does not make you insignificant, but it may mean you are not as unique as you imagined. You might also find that when you become friends with someone you thought you would connect with, you end up sharing very similar experiences. Meeting someone like this is not rare at all. Many people can be deeper than we initially assume. Maybe people want to feel special. Because being ordinary feels frightening. Being ordinary feels invisible. But Jung suggested something different. Maybe the shared human experience itself is already profound. Throughout this video, no final answer was given, because this is not a solution video, it is simply a thought experiment. Maybe at some point you carried this thought, I'm different from other people. Maybe it gave you strength. Maybe it made you feel alone, but Jung's idea leaves us with one final question. Are you truly different, or do you simply enjoy believing that you are?